Stressless. Go to a local park with your favorite book and a packed lunch. Funny that this is talking about parks because 2 days ago I was asking one of my managers who has become somewhat athletic in recent times. He went from being probably the least athletic to the most athletic. That's funny. And I asked him if he happens to know how to play tennis because I have two tennis rackets and some balls, and I haven't played since the year probably 2013, I want to say. And it's something that I miss. I was never good at it. I don't officially know the rules of tennis, but I remember having fun. That was one of the few recreational activities that mom and I had in common. And that was thanks to my godfather getting us into it back in the good old days. And I'm like, well, I would love to actually use them because I see them every day. I stare at them every day, but I really don't have plans with that. And he mentioned that he could do racquetball, and he proceeded to explain to me the rules of it, but it was interrupted. So next I see him, I have to ask him to finish because we had to get busy with our job. But it was exciting to see that is something that he had an idea about. And that was pretty much the way I would visit parks here and there. I also played outdoor basketball. And I want to say playing basketball is what I miss the most. I also miss when mom had an LA Fitness membership. And that's when I was able to do my little basketball video way back in the day. And that was exciting. I was looking at myself and I'm like, I can just tell how much I enjoy that based off how I'm moving as I'm playing. So, anyway, outside of that, you guys know I'm not a reader, so it's very unlikely that you'll ever hear me say, I just got through reading this book and blah, blah, blah. The last book I read, I want to say I read back in 2016, I want to say it came out. And it was basically an autobiographical work by one of my favorite actresses at the time. And I found it pretty inspiring. That, in a sense, helped reinforce how I would probably talk about things on the channel, and it helped me become more confident about just talking about myself as opposed to feeling like talking about yourself is just sinful. And I just felt like it's something that I can do and I can do it well, and why not do it? Parks is something that I'm trying to get better with. You guys may remember how about 2 years ago I started making videos in which I tried going outdoors. Was it 2 years ago or was it a year ago? I don't even remember. But I just know that I was having the toughest time making it out there because I don't know, there's always something that gets me. I'm just not comfortable anymore being outside, something basic for a person. But it's either I have to drown in sunscreen, or during the cold months it gets a little bit hazardous, or I just can't be out there in the heat like that because I start panting, or mosquitoes are out there to get me because of my blood type, and all those kinds of things. I just gotta like push through it and endure it. But I also genuinely worry about my safety because, like I have said before, if something happens to me while I'm hiking, I don't have a plan. So, to avoid disaster from happening, I just deprive myself of the adventure. But yeah, you guys, I just cannot imagine going out there on my own and doing stuff like that. It's just not something that I'm wired or configured for. But if I'm going to meet up with someone, I can do that. I played volleyball one time with one of my coworkers over 10 years ago, and that was a pretty neat experience. I had never played volleyball with sand on the ground. It was similar to beach volleyball, but we had it here in the community. That was fun, that was cool. And I realized that I had gotten a little rusty with volleyball. I was actually pretty good at that game. But also, I wasn't exactly fit back then. But now that I probably have the stamina and the strength for it, I just don't have the opportunity for that game now. That is something I would totally do. So yeah, if I'm going to a park, I want to be active at a park. I don't like to be just sedentary reading something. If I'm going to read something, I need to cozy up my place and pick the best time for it. And usually nighttime is when I can get my better read on, and the daytime is like just too noisy for me. And on the note of taking packed food with me for me to eat outdoors, you need to convince me to go out there with all them bugs and potential filth, because there's probably not gonna be easy ways to wash my hands. I like to wash my hands and immediately make it to the table, as opposed to I go to the public bathroom, wash my hands, come back out, find my place. I can't touch anything, all those things. I like to take that into account, and I'm just not too wild about being out there eating and attracting God knows what. It would be a mess. It would be a disaster. If I'm going to eat, I need for my eating to be undisrupted, undisturbed. So the only way I could do that would be probably like a water bottle. I'll always have that with me. A smoothie that has a lid and a straw that I can supervise. And that's about it, really. Solid food, you would have to convince me to eat it outside. Even when I'm present at barbecues and stuff, you'll never really see me eating outside unless I know that it's been very well bug proofed. Because if there's nothing I hate more is to be disrupted when I'm eating, especially the potential of my food being contaminated. I don't play. Well, there you guys have it. That's it from me on this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the event that I get around to going to parks, I will make sure to document that experience given how rare it is. Just like I documented a little bit of my Florida trip, because that definitely never happens. But yeah, it's just getting me to go out on my own. It's never gonna work, but if I have a compelling companion, I can make it work. So, yeah, just need a guide. Okay, bye.